गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. See, when we are on the seat of meditation, our mind can go in two directions. One is thinking, Cintanam, and the other is worrying, Cinta. So, both are thoughts. So, how do we know? Are we positive or negative? Are we doing Cintanam, contemplation, or are we worrying? Simple, straightforward rule is a ball mark overview. What is that? If you are objectifying anything, you are worrying. If you are subjectively applying it, it is Cintanam. Having said that, that is our ultimate, that it has to be subjective. But we are so at times addicted to do something on meditation seat also. What should I do? What should do? For that, this chapter is there. The 4 speeches. So let our thoughts be of the divine. Let our thoughts be of such quality, such caliber, that they do not leave behind any residue. Then you are doing Cintanam. And if they are leaving behind some residue in form of thoughts, convictions, experience, because many people get lot of experiences on the seat of meditation, ecstasy, all that is unnecessary. Then you are going into the wrong direction. To come to this conclusion that because I saw lights, because I heard sound, I heard the conch, I heard the musical instruments, I felt ecstasy, is not equal to Cintanam. It is distraction. All these things are distraction. They are taking you away from your ultimate goal. If you give value to them, if you give attention to them, if you pursue them, if you seek them, if you want that as an experience, then we are going the wrong way. See? So Cintanam happens naturally when, as Panchadashi says, the direction of the thought changes from outside to inside, the quality of thoughts changes from gross to subtle to divine, and the number of thoughts decrease from many thoughts to zero, less thoughts or no thoughts. But you just said that we have to go beyond thoughts. Yes, the ability to go beyond thoughts and witness the thoughts, it's not that you do it, it happens. When you take care of these three parameters, then the transcendence happens. You cannot bring it about. You put a culture in the warm milk, you can't make the yogurt. If it sits still till morning, the yogurt will be there. Same way, you put the culture of the divine thought into the milk of your mind and sit. You will go beyond that thought. It will lead to zero conclusion. There should be no conclusion. If there is a conclusion, means you are having an experience. If there is an experience, you are still in your mind. And who are we? We are beyond the mind. We know there is a mind, so we are the observer of the mind. We are transcendental to the mind. We are untouched by the mind. That is our true identity. So contemplate in the right manner. Contemplate with such thoughts that leave no conclusion. And this is what we are seeing in this chapter, Vacharana Parihara, going beyond the four speeches. Going beyond the four speeches means choosing such thoughts which allows you to go beyond, which allows you to recognize, I shouldn't say allows you to go beyond, which allows you to recognize without a thought that you are all that there is. In you the mind is, in you the thoughts are, in you the whole universe is. And for that, the first step that we must invoke within ourselves is go beyond tamas. Means when you are doing your sadhana, you are doing your japa, you are doing your contemplation, remain extremely alert so that you don't become, don't fall a victim to the sleep. This is the first step. Then once you have done that, then the next battleground, seemingly battleground, I don't want to make it into a battleground, the next challenge. And the next challenge is the habitual imagination of the mind, which is called the dream state. So we have to transcend that, and that will be only possible. You cannot do it. It has to happen. And it will happen only if you are focused towards the self. If you are focused on the self as the self. Then, if you have faith and perseverance, Shraddha and Saburi, as Shirdi Sai Baba says, over a period of time, slowly this habitual imagination of the mind, it starts settling down. It becomes slower and slower and slower. And this is what I talked about. The direction of the thoughts has to change, the quality of the thoughts has to change, and the frequency of thought has to change. In dream, the frequency is very high. And this frequency, if you try to react to that imagination and try to exercise control and willpower, it will take you for a topsy-turvy ride. Either it will throw you, you will get tired and go to sleep, or you will keep going round and round in the imagination. And then we have to transcend, give zero value to the dream, give zero value to the imaginations, give zero value to the fanciful thinking. What if it is like this? What if it was like that? What if I had done this? What if the future holds this option for me? Zilch. Give it zero value. Don't allow it. Don't allow it means not push it away. Let it come, let it go. Don't be affected by it. If you remain unaffected by these thoughts, they get momentum only when we give attention to them. Instead, hold on to your Lord's name. Instead, hold on to the Atma Chintan. And if imaginations are coming, they are only making themselves available. Imaginations are only making themselves available because we are not alert towards the required goal. That is why they are making available. They are only becoming available because we are not focused on the Lord's name. They are making themselves available because we are not contemplating on the self. Different ways I am putting it. So it is not that they are there. They are not there. Imagination is a figment of imagination. It exists in its own absence. Then how come it became available? Because we are unavailable to ourselves. That's why the imaginations become available. See? So this way we come to, through japa sadhana, we overcome or we transcend the dream state. And then we come to the waking state. Now in waking state, you have to awaken yourself. And that is again possible in dream to control the direction of the thoughts, the quality of the thoughts, and the frequency of the thoughts. It cannot be exercised to 100%. But you are chanting your name of the Lord. You are chanting, doing your sadhana sincerely, and every now and then the imaginations are coming. But as the agitation of the mind, which is dream, becomes less agitated when you are in waking state, when you have transcended the dream, you have come to the waking state. In the waking state, then we become aware of these three parameters very succinctly. There it was by God's grace. Here, the recognition that I am independent of the thoughts is possible only in the waking state, not in the imaginary state, not in the dream state, not in the sleep state. That I am is independent of the mind is possible only in the waking state. And therefore, pursuing this practice, one is able to transcend the tamas, from tamas to rajas, from rajas to waking, and only in the waking state the awakening, the self-realization is possible, otherwise not. And in this, only in the waking state. The entire, in deep sleep, you cannot, yes, you transcend waking and dream in the deep sleep, but you are in the lap of ignorance. In the dream, you are at the mercy of the projections of the mind. In the waking, only it is possible to devalue the deep sleep, it is possible to devalue the dream, and it is possible to devalue the waking experience also. It is not possible to devalue the waking in the dream or the sleep, but in waking you can devalue all the three. This option is not available in the other two states. So work towards it. Remain highly alert, highly poised, in the consciousness, as the consciousness. Then it is Cintanam. Uddharet atmanatmanam natmanam avasadhayet. Continuously be extremely aware. Awareness is not of the mind. Awareness is not of the sleeper, dreamer or waker. Awareness is not of the intellect. The nature of the self is to be aware. It is its nature. Just as the sun, the light is the nature of the sun, awareness is the nature of ourself. Don't devalue it by saying, I am aware, again into a thought in the mind. Understand the whole picture. And in this way, we give up the causal, subtle and the gross body and come to abide in our essential nature. This is Cintanam as opposed to Cinta. Cintanam, contemplation. Cinta, worrying. Worrying is always about the world. World is nothing but thoughts. And Cintanam is using the same thoughts to transcend the thoughts. Cinta, worry, is using the thoughts and getting caught up in thoughts. Cintanam is using the thoughts to go beyond the thoughts, or to be the one in spite of the thoughts, whether they manifest or unmanifest. Hari Om. Think in this manner and be.